3rd of June, 2026, during a World Cup training session in New Jersey, Brazil's captain launched into a reckless tackle on his own teammate. The clip went viral within minutes. The man going in hard was Casemiro, the captain of the Brazilian national team. The man going down was Endrick, the most exciting 19-year-old in world football. And it wasn't the first time. Former Brazilian international Crocodile said it clearly: if Casemiro catches the right ankle, Endrick is done. Missing the World Cup. That is what the captain of Brazil did to his own teammate, 6 days before their opening game. And to understand why, we have to go back to the beginning. Because this is not about one tackle. This is about a system that has been working against its own best talent for over 2 years. A group that does not want him. A captain who has made that clear. And a 19-year-old who keeps proving everyone wrong anyway. Endrick Felipe was born on the 21st of July, 2006, in Taguatinga, one of the poorest satellite cities surrounding the Brazilian capital. His family had almost nothing. By 16, he had already made Palmeiras Brazilian champions, scoring more goals than any teenager had in that league this century. He became only the 4th youngest player ever called up to the Brazilian national team. Younger than Ronaldo. Younger than Neymar. The youngest male called up since Pelé himself in 1957. Brazil had not seen anything like this in nearly 70 years. Then came Wembley. March 2024. Brazil vs England. Endrick came off the bench, and within minutes scored the winner. Youngest ever to score at Wembley. He was 17 years old. Vinicius grabbed him and lifted him in the air, because everyone in that stadium understood what they were watching. A month later, he scored at the Bernabeu, against Spain. He became the first player since Pelé to score in consecutive internationals before turning 18. Real Madrid had already agreed to sign him for €60 million. The whole world was watching. And then everything changed. He arrived at Real Madrid in July 2024. And then Kylian Mbappé also arrived. Suddenly, the most exciting teenager on the planet became invisible. He played 847 minutes across the entire season, mostly entering after the 80th minute, with the game already decided. His one start in the Champions League, against Lyon, went badly. Ancelotti pulled him and effectively buried him. For months, he did not make a single appearance. The kid who scored at Wembley was now watching from the stands. Completely forgotten. Copa America 2024 made things worse. Brazil threw him into the starting lineup against Uruguay in a quarter-final elimination game. His first ever start. The result was one successful pass in 90 minutes. 1. Brazil were eliminated. And suddenly he became the scapegoat for an entire nation's failure. After that tournament, Endrick was gradually pushed away. Brazil played 6 more games that year. He started none. He had 1 cap in 18 months. He publicly admitted he was worried he would miss the World Cup entirely. He was 18 years old and already afraid his career was slipping away. Xabi Alonso replaced Ancelotti at Real Madrid. Endrick made just 3 appearances in the first half of the season. 3. The decision was obvious. And ironically, it was Ancelotti himself, the man who barely played him, who advised him to leave. You can only grow where you are happy. Go find that place. January 2026. Endrick joined Lyon on loan, a team that had been 1 point from relegation just 6 months earlier. A leap of faith. And what happened next was one of the most extraordinary individual runs of form in recent football history. Game 1. 5 minutes in, he hits a shot from 35 yards. Off the keeper's hands, onto the post. He is not satisfied. He keeps going. He scores the winner. Man of the match. Ligue 1 immediately labeled him a prodigy. Game 2. Most dangerous player on the pitch. Drives at defenses repeatedly. Nutmeg in open play. Sets up the winning goal. 2 games in, 2 man of the match performances. The same player France, Brazil and Real Madrid could not find room for. Game 3 against Metz. He scores in the 11th minute. Again before half-time. One disallowed. No problem, he runs in behind and scores his second. Then earns a penalty. Hat-trick. Youngest player in Lyon's entire history to score a hat-trick in Ligue 1. 6 shots on target, a club record. He then scored against PSG in their own stadium and danced in front of their ultras celebrating. Luis Enrique, the PSG manager, refused to shake his hand afterward, telling the press, "I purposely ignored him because I hate this disrespectful child." The kid was 19. Already living in their heads rent-free. By the end of his loan, 8 goals, 8 assists. Ligue 1 Player of the Month. He dragged Lyon from 9th place to 3rd, their first Champions League qualification in 6 years. In half a season. On loan. As a teenager. And his own captain still says he is not part of the main group. So with all of that, how is it still a question whether Endrick starts for Brazil? Because the problem is not football. The problem is the group. And this has been hiding in plain sight for over a year. Former Brazilian international Vampeta revealed on a podcast, in that dressing room, they all blame Endrick. They say he did not get along with the rest. That he pulled all the media attention toward himself. That out of 23 players, 22 do not like him. That he killed the spirit of the group. Then came the interview that confirmed everything. Casemiro, on record, not a leak, said, "If he goes to the World Cup, we have to be realistic, he is not part of the main group. We have players in front who need to take more responsibility." The internet exploded. Brazil's own captain had just publicly excluded his best young talent. Of the 23 players who represented Brazil 4 years ago, 15 came back for this World Cup. That veteran group has a complete hold on the dressing room. There are those who belong to the group, and those who do not. Endrick, Igor Thiago, and Heya are always filmed separately. Everyone can see it. Casemiro tried to walk it back. He said he was protecting Endrick from pressure. That the words were taken out of context. But then came the training session. And if you needed any more evidence of how the veteran group really feels about him, it was captured on camera. There was also a moment during a friendly against Croatia. Brazil won a penalty. Endrick stepped up to take it. Casemiro and other senior players rose from the bench and demanded he give the ball to Igor Thiago instead. The crowd booed. Endrick obeyed. Thiago missed. Minutes later Endrick still found time to assist. Let us just look at the numbers. Because the numbers do not care about dressing room politics. Endrick had 8 goals and 8 assists in half a season at Lyon. The same number of goal involvements in 2026 as Kylian Mbappé. Not comparable to Mbappé. Exactly equal. At 19. Line up the stats of every Brazilian forward heading into this World Cup. Vinicius Jr., Rafinha, Rodrigo. Even they struggle to match Endrick's output per 90 minutes at club level this season. The player the captain says is not part of the main group is producing numbers the main group cannot match. He became the youngest Lyon player to score a hat-trick, beating a record that stood since Bernard Lacombe. In the 21st century, only Menez, Mbappé, and Dembélé achieved the same at a younger age. His average SofaScore rating this season was 7.3. He had at least one shot on target in 88% of his appearances. For the national team, the story is even clearer. Against Croatia he came on in the 78th minute, won a penalty, and assisted the goal. Against Egypt he scored in under 6 minutes off the bench. Every single time he gets on that pitch, something happens. Every single time. He averaged 3.1 shots per game for Lyon. In 88% of appearances he had at least one shot on target. For a teenager playing in a team fighting to stay in Europe, those are elite numbers. Numbers the veteran players in the Brazilian squad simply are not producing right now. The 2026 World Cup is being played across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Brazil face Morocco in their opening group game. For the first time in 24 years, they are carrying the weight of a nation that genuinely believes this is the year they end the wait for a six-star. Ancelotti is now the Brazil manager. The same man who advised Endrick to leave Real Madrid. The same man now in charge of deciding whether the kid he sent on loan gets to start, or comes off the bench, or does not play at all. The irony writes itself. And behind all of it sits the trophy. The thing Brazil have not won since 2002. 4 World Cups without a title. The pressure is unlike anything any other nation experiences. And somehow, the player best positioned to change that, is the one being pushed to the margins by his own captain. Vinicius Jr. is Brazil's star. Nobody disputes that. But Vinicius' international goal record is thinner than you might think. Endrick, in a fraction of the minutes, is already producing comparable impact. When Brazil need a goal in a knockout game, who do you actually trust to get it? Former Brazilian great Carlos Alberto said it best about players like Endrick. He was shy. Not many friends. Hard to deal with. But the only thing that should matter is the ball. He was talking about someone else entirely. But every single word applies here perfectly. This is not the first time Brazil has done this. This country has a painful history of its own system working against its most gifted young players. The veteran group protects itself. Always. The question is whether Ancelotti is strong enough to override that and give Endrick the minutes the numbers say he deserves. Endrick is not the problem. He has never been the problem. He was 17 years old, carrying a national team that did not deserve to put that weight on a teenager, and they blamed him when it went wrong. Then they ignored him for 18 months. Then their own captain put him on the floor in training. He went to Lyon anyway. He dominated French football anyway. He proved everyone wrong anyway. And then in training he scored a stunning goal dribbling past 2 senior defenders, and minutes later got cleaned out by the captain. He responded by saying nothing. He just kept going. Brazil wants that 6-star more than anything. And somewhere in that squad, playing second choice to players producing less, is the most naturally gifted finisher they have had in a generation. If they waste him at this World Cup, that decision will haunt them. Not just this summer. For a very long time.